Hello, this is Ryan. Welcome to the Wild Goose. Like, subscribe, and most importantly of all, enjoy the video. Hello, and welcome to another Steel Division 2. This is your host, Ryan, and I've decided to make a guide on how to make your decks in Steel Division. It is going to be very straightforward. I'll be giving tips on the way, so just watch throughout the video. I'm going to be going through every tab, what you should use them for, what you should look out for, and for this demonstration, I will be using the 7th Mechanized Core, because it is a very balanced core on the Allies side. I am most well versed in the Allies, so I believe I will keep my speciality where it is and not try to talk about the Axis when I know nothing about them. Now, let's start with some of the vehicles and units that will be in most of the Allied decks, most of the Soviet decks, or there will be versions of these units in the Axis or Western Allied decks as well. So, this motorcycle, unless it has a radio, it's useless. Don't use it. Unless you don't have anything else to get to the front line quickly, don't use it. 2-man recon squad, unless you really need recon, don't use it, or if it has a radio. Carrier Dishka, this is only a couple of divisions, but this is actually very good. What you're looking for in a unit that you would use like the Carrier Dishka is you want armor so it cannot be affected by a small arms fire, and some good weapons at a decent cost. 20 points, that's pretty good for a Dishka, which is a pretty good machine gun, and a Bren gun, which is alright. Good at suppressing. The speed could be better, but who's to judge? Motorized Razvedka, that's in almost every division. I wouldn't use it unless it has a radio or you really need recon. It's better than the Dozer. Razvedka, I use this a lot because it has the SVTs and the bazooka, and it's recon, so it can go behind enemy lines without being noticed. So definitely you can have it, especially if you're lacking anti-tank capabilities. T-3476 Razvedka. In general, all recon tanks they're pretty decent if you don't have a good tank tab. If you do have a good tank tab, I'd rather take an infantry unit that can fight. Onto the infantry tab. Leader card. You always at least want one leader card, unless you really don't have a lot of infantry, or you can supplement it with tank leaders. Those are also good. So some leaders are better than others. This I don't think is a very good leader. It'll die instantly to anything, even mortars. This will also kind of die instantly, but you could take it for the Panzerfaust. That's a pretty decent Panzerfaust. If you go down, you can find the Shrelki Kamrati. It has smoke, which is good, very good. I'd take that because you don't want your leaders to be fighting. So it's better to have something like smoke, so that if you need to retreat, you can throw that down. And then Tanko Kamrati, it comes with a sniper and anti-tank grenade. I would not take it because you shouldn't be using your sniper because you don't want your leader to be in combat. Anti-tank grenade is alright though. Moving on to frontline units for the Russians. These are also Panzer Grenadiers or just infantry for the Western Allies. But Strelki, frontline infantry, it is okay. It has a submachine gun, 9 Mosins, a DP, and an anti-tank grenade, which is mainly why I would ever take this. The SMG isn't really great. I'd rather have the double DP, but sometimes I just need those anti-tank grenades. SVTs, these are always good, always better than double DPs because the semi-auto rifle is just insanely good, and it comes with the anti-tank grenade, so it's just great all around. Tanko Kamrati, I wouldn't take this. Usually I prefer sappers if all you have is Tanko Kamrat or Tanko Desaniki. If all you have is Tanko Desaniki, I would take that because the Molotovs can definitely help, and the 8 PPSHs. Off to Machiki, it's literally the same thing, just with an anti-tank grenade. Normally wouldn't take it, though. It'll beat every single unit that isn't meant to fight in close quarters, because the 10 PPSHs. So maybe you could get the anti-tank grenade off if the enemy is very aggressive with their tanks. Sapuri, yes, always take Sapuri. If you are preparing to like fight in the forest, they're great. They have the SVTs, TNT. Strelky DP, double DP. Any unit with multiple machine guns is always very good. Just look for something like this. Rifles and machine guns, very good. And on to the tank tab. I cannot demonstrate heavy tanks, but when I go with tanks, I go with a mix of heavy tanks and medium tanks to support the infantry. I'm only going to go over the T-34. This is the basic Russian division. This is never used in any other division than this, and I would never, ever use the Matilda. Never use the Matilda. KV-1S, very nice. T-34-76, very nice. Leader cards are always very good if you don't have leaders. Really, it just depends on how you're fighting and what division you're using to fight with. Just don't get your heavy tanks too close to the enemy, or else they just die to Panzerfaust. Support, Ognamachiki, I always take that. They're very good. They can get to the battlefield very quickly. Something I haven't touched upon is that some divisions have different transports, which is very important because half-tracks are extremely good, especially for the Allies where their half-tracks are rather quick. The half-tracks are pretty good. So I'd take that, or just an armored personnel carrier. Always check the speed. Some things are faster than others. Like if you go to the anti-tank tab and go to the PTRS, you can have something very fast, like this, which has 100 kilometers per hour. Anyway, back to it. These machine guns also come in very fast vehicles. I wouldn't take them for this deck, but I always would. For others, Dishka, take that instead. Dishka is great. Infantry support gun, that's pretty decent. I'd take it, but you don't have to. Support, if you have a lot of artillery and it doesn't have its own artillery, like if it doesn't have a support SNAT or a SNAB which has supply, I would take a couple of these. This is a support gun on a vehicle. I'd take it. It's pretty good. Another support vehicle on a gun, or another support vehicle with a support cannon. This is very good because it has heat shells. Most divisions don't have anything as good as these, so beware. Every division has a commander, though. You want to take a commander if you have leaders, because it up-vets the units like in range of that leader. So like your leader could be up-vetting your normal infantry up to 1, but if you have a commander nearby, it'll up-vet them to 3, or it will up-vet to 3, so fully vetted. Anti-tank gun, anti-tank tanks, these are pretty good. They require a lot of micro though, so beware. More anti-tank tanks, really just check the stats. Some stats can be deceiving, like you click on this and it shows the APCR does not have the same range as the AP shell or the HE shell, so it always just shows the best stats. So always click on this, check the speed, check the stealth. Always important. Would never, could take this actually. It has a pretty fast fire rate. Anti-tank guns for the Soviets, they're pretty lackluster unless it's the 57. The 57 is always a go-to. Other than that, the ZIS-3 is not great, and you get that in all like Russian tank or all Russian divisions in general. This is good at killing transports and can get to the battlefield decently quickly. PTRS, like I said, used for getting really close to the enemy and then sniping their transports. German or Axis anti-tank is typically better than Allied anti-tank, so beware with that. They also have decent AA. Russians also have decent AA. So, but you always need to take at least 2 cards of AA. I'd take it in B and C. If you're worried about your enemy like bringing it in an A, I'd do 3, because you always need to have 1 in B and 1 in C just in case. Some are better than others. Just check the stats. The stats are very important. Compare them to other stats. Fire rate is also very important. Artillery. I always have a good time just using the 76s for the Russians. They fire pretty quickly, and they're very numerous. But some divisions have these things called off-map artillery, which you call in once you get this unit to the battlefield. It'll be pretty self-explanatory once you click on the unit, but you can basically call artillery wherever you need it. It's pretty useful. I'd take it if you have it. These armored, like, this is the equivalent of a Hummel, and the Priest for the Western Allies. So I think they're pretty decent because they have armor. They don't like die instantly and get suppressed. If you're running a very infantry-heavy deck, always take mortars. Always take mortars. They're very important for infantry because they have smoke, so I'd micro that smoke very well. If you don't have leaders, you can always take the like observer leader. They're not great because they come in less quantity, but they also have radio, so take it as you will. Air. If you are planning on fighting a big air war, take a fighter or 2. Normally, though, you'd want to take, like, I don't have a good experience with these rockets. Bombs, though, these are great. Not these, but, like, 250s, 500s, 1000s, those are great. So, a division that does have AP planes and uses them very well is the Marines, the Russian Marines. So if you're playing the Allies, you're going to be taking like this, like the IL-2, very good. You check the resilience, it's very good. Check the agility, it's medium, that's fine. The speed is 380, it can get out of there. And it has 192. These cluster APs will instantly kill anything that it actually hits. So yeah, these rockets are pretty good too, but it usually takes 2 or 3 volleys to get them off. Another representation of artillery, off-map artillery, is these guys. It's not a tank. It is just an armored car. This is not even an armored car. It is just a car. So just keep it away from the front line, and there will be a circle around it, and you'll be able to use it. Defenses. Usually you aren't going to be defending, but if you do, just check the stats. It's just basic like units, but they're in bunkers, so it's pretty self-explanatory. If you learned anything, I would appreciate it if you subscribed to my YouTube channel. About 0% of my viewers are subscribed, so it would be very nice if you could do that. I make a variety of content, but mainly focused on map games. But I hope you enjoyed the guide, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Goodbye.